How's it going, guys? It's Ralphie from Beyond the Huddle, and welcome to this week's Bitcoin forecast. As always, we're going to take a look at the Commitment of Traders report to see what the asset managers have been up to. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the margin accounts from Bitfinex, and then last but not least, we'll wrap it up with some price action to see how our short-term levels and our long-term levels are looking on Bitcoin. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so it's getting started here with the COT. This is the CME contract for Bitcoin. I don't have the picture, the screenshot the same way I always have it, nice and neatly posted, because due to the whole Thanksgiving and all that, it may not have been updated in some places. But I got it here straight from the website at cftc.gov. If you guys can go find it if you would like, at Commitment of Traders tab. Here we can see that the asset managers increased their longs by 256. And then we can see that they actually decreased their shorts by 29 contracts, which is actually really interesting. Everyone over here, was very scared last week. Now, remember, this is data up until Tuesday of last week. But nonetheless, it shows that the asset managers had no intention of even feeding the downside and, being afraid of this move lower. So when we take a look here at the actual asset managers and the COT, the way we like to look at it here in a weekly chart for our indicators, again, nothing has changed. We're still net long, above 80%, and if anything, we got a bit more bullish. I can't see that our indicator has updated, but I will post a picture of it when it does update, when the data gets pushed through. Again, I think this is just because of the way Thanksgiving happened here in the U.S. But nonetheless, you guys can see it here from the CFTC. Nothing changed, and we are staying bullish. So again, not much to talk about. So let's move on to the margin accounts. So guys, while there was nothing much going on in the COT except, hey, we're still bullish and we expect exponential prices increase for Bitcoin and the rest of the market, here on the margin accounts is actually looking quite interesting. We can see here that the Bitcoin longs did actually do exactly as we thought. It bounced from the discount and then made its way higher. Remember, our target is this quarterly open. That would be sort of like the premium the premium of that range, and then we'd have to see, is it going to respect it or is it going to break it, kind of the same way that this got broken here. And that's when things get a little bit interesting, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I told you in last week's video, if I was going to bet anything, it's that it was going to reject here and the market was going to go higher. Well, guess what? We actually had, you see this 3-day candle with the wick to the upside right to the quarterly open. We actually did not end up rejecting there, and as you can see, we ended up going massively higher, and that was a move about 230% in the shorts. Now you can see that we're now above the yearly open. We have not hit this premium, which was my ultimate target in the first place. So back a couple weeks ago when we made the video down here, we were expecting an increase back to the quarterly open and then back to the yearly open, and then our final target would have been this premium, and that would, that's a 1,000% increase. Now, because the shorts were so low compared to the long, that's what I was saying about the shorts not really affecting the market that much until the longs got higher, and then you had some longs to trap with those shorts. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't work out that way. What ended up happening was the shorts moved really aggressively, while the longs kind of stayed quite smoothly. Now, one thing I want to point out here is that this is actually quite bullish. So if you can see, let's bring this out right here. If you overlay the price of Bitcoin, you can very clearly see that, for example, right here from September up until the low here. So you can see if you're expecting the shorts to decline, you would expect the price of Bitcoin, that's this orange line right here, you would expect the price of Bitcoin to increase. Same way that right here when it was November and we saw this all-time low get hit in the shorts, I was expecting that if they outpaced this, the increase in the shorts outpaced the increase, or the if the longs had a drop, right? So if it outpaced the increase in the longs, then the market would drop. And look at that right here. If we look at the exact high on Bitcoin was November 6th, November 6th, and that's exactly when the shorts started to go up aggressively. So the question becomes, although we did not stop here, the quarterly open, although we did not hit this premium, are we getting ready or near the high in these shorts? Again, you can see the very clear correlation between the two. You can see it right here as well. In July, the Bitcoin price went up until this level, and that was the entire price leg that Bitcoin went down right there, right? So you can see, let me make that a little bit thicker there, so you can see that right there. But again, so that's what we're asking ourselves, right? And I am pretty bullish at the moment, as you're gonna see in the future for price, and the levels that we did hit. And again, the COT is telling us to be bullish. It's just you're gonna have to there's a fine line between the COT and the asset managers, which are, you know, the big players, and then there's the actual leverage positions in Bitfinex for the margin accounts. And again, those people could be whales or they could be regular people like us. We don't know, but I can definitely assure you that people in the asset managers are whales. There's like a short-term movement when you look at these leverage positions versus a different type of movement when you look at the COT. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. Again, beats me what we're gonna do right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and watch it. But if we look at the monthly chart, it is bullish, so I would expect it to close bullish, right? I'm not really trying to predict anything more than that. Although the weekly calendar right here has already started bearish, but this could just be the bottom side wick, and then to get one more push higher, which, as you guys are gonna see later in the price action, if this is the bottom side wick of this candle, and then we do get that last push higher, so let's move this right around here, and then we get the drop, so then we can move this right there. If this is how it happens, then I'm going to show you in price action kind of what that would look like. But again, you can see it here. If this is a high soon or right now, then we should expect the price of Bitcoin, which is this orange line here, to start increasing. So that would correlate, again, the price of Bitcoin increasing with longs also increasing. So let's move on to the price action, wrap this video up, and then show you guys what I'm thinking. Okay guys, so moving on here to the price action part of the video, and we're gonna review some of these tweets here that happened on that we made on November 22nd. And the idea was that last week we didn't want Bitcoin to do what it did the previous week before that, which was it had created a 4-hour range, a swing high, swing low here, and then when it opened below the previous week's level, so again, if you look at this green zone here, there was a green zone right above price, and then we had slammed right into this 4-hour supply, and then he had made a move lower. So essentially last week, the week that just happened, what we had was basically the same thing, except you had an extra addition, which was this purple zone. So that our purple zone, for those of you guys that don't know, that's our monthly level. So not only were you below the weekly level when the week started, you were also below the monthly level, which is quite the big deal because that's our long-term level. And the longer you spend below that, the more dangerous the price becomes, and you potentially expect a few weeks of bearishness. So that's what we wanted to see, either a quick drop, so you see right here, a quick fake move lower, and then a rejection, which actually is, I think, is exactly what just ended up happening, and we'll go over that in just a second. Or if we did lose that level, then we would go ahead and see this 15% drop right into the weekly demand. And again, because of how the COT looks, because of how they keep adding longs, reducing shorts, and actually now based on how these these shorts, these margin shorts here look, there could be the potential for then that to have been the low, this rejection that just happened here. And one thing I didn't mention just now, but I do want to mention, is for this to be the high here, then we have to go below the yearly open. Okay, so it's either going to go higher and hit this premium, and then we'll see a breakdown in the structure, or we'll go ahead and go below this yearly open, and then we'll target the quarterly open. That would make this the high, right? But going back to the price action, as you can see here, if you guys saw the last video that I made, you can see, well, let's get rid of some of these lines first. So you can see that's what we just saw in the picture. We're going to get rid of last week's level, which would be this right here. And then we're going to keep this week's level. So you can already see we're right at the weekly level of last week, and I definitely want to go above that as quickly as possible, because we cannot afford to keep opening below the previous week's level that we have, and then keep using it as resistance like we did the past 2 weeks. You can see right here, again, it was just a perfect stair step down, and we don't want to see that. So if we go back to our daily chart, back when I made the video last week, I was expecting something like this. You see how it had this like a 1 or 2 day move lower, and then it quickly rejects it. It kind of goes below some lows, and then it quickly rejects. That same thing here, right? You see, when I made the video, it was somewhere around here, but it actually ended up going up for about 1 or 2 more days, and then in a very aggressive 8% move lower, then that's the move down. Now I didn't get rid of any of my positions. You can see right here there was some sort of support. We didn't talk about this one, but there was some support here. And again, I would have been very skeptical because it did break the equilibrium of that candle. But nonetheless, you can see right here how it went straight down and then it went straight back up. So that's exactly what I wanted to see. Now, because this 3-day, was it a 3-day demand? I swear it was a 3-day demand, but because this demand zone right here, maybe it was on a... Yeah, okay, it was a daily demand. Okay, because the daily demand did have candles close below, we're not going to use it anymore. Again, we would like to see what our demands that don't get broken. Kind of like this one right here. You see this a down candle, and then we dipped into it here, dipped into it here, dipped into here, dipped into it here, and then eventually it went up, right? You don't want to see any candles close below the equilibrium of it. But again, now this is looking less likely, so we can go ahead and get rid of this right here. Again, if we lose this level again, so 57K, and then maybe go lower, then yeah, we will have to revisit this. But for now, we'll leave these lines alone, and then we'll start to look at potentially what can happen this week. So look at this. Let's go to our 4-hour chart, and you can see, let me move this up a little bit, although the level won't be correct anymore, but you can see right here the weekly open, that's this W right there. We're above it right now, so that's step number 1, right? You want to be above the weekly open, and you want to be above last week's open. As long as those two are true, then you can start to see some reversal in price. Okay, and now what do we want to see? Again, obviously we want to see prices go up, and this is the important one. We only have what one more day. Yeah, this is the one that we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin before the end of the month. We want to see it go above this, and remember, once the new month starts, our monthly levels change. So we could be bullish on this week, but then we end up being, even if we go above this purple one, we'll see how the levels develop, and we could still actually be bearish on the monthly. So we'll let you guys know what that level is in about 2 days, and then we'll see, if we're short-term bullish, but then we're still long-term bearish, and that's kind of when things get a little bit rocky. It'd be much easier if we were long-term bullish and short-term bullish, but you can never get everything you want in the world. So that's what I have, guys. Again, oh, by the way, what I was saying earlier about the potential increase in the shorts, if that were to happen, you can see this right here. So we could have a move lower, again, temporarily below the weekly open, which should then push us down to this discount zone right here, okay? And again, that all depends on if those shorts on Bitfinex are going to end up going higher one last time. Oh man, I can't even copy it right here. There we go. So what I'm thinking here is, and then you draw the discount. So you go from this low to this high right here, and then we go there. And then you draw your discount zone. Again, you can overlay some sort of a discount, the discount with a demand zone right here. But nonetheless, if we do end up seeing higher move in those shorts on Bitfinex, right here, this higher move. So if we don't go, move lower, so let's mark this out as well. Yeah, right here. If we don't move lower, I don't exactly know why I did that, but okay, let's do this one thing here. If we don't move lower like this, below the yearly open, and then we're targeting the quarterly open, and we move higher and then lower, then I would expect prices to move lower here. And that would be, people will get caught off guard by a 5-6% move down in the market. They think the market is dying again. Everything's going to hell. But again, it would have been very expected. Now, why wouldn't we like this scenario? Well, that's because you're below the weekly level now, right? So you'd be both below the weekly level and you'd still be below the monthly level. So that's what I have for you guys. Again, the best case scenario would be we go straight up, right? Then you'd be above the monthly open and hopefully above the monthly level. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm bullish long term. The COT, nothing is wavering. We're still super bullish, and that's one thing that we can definitely trust in the long term. But there will be these short term pullbacks on the way there, and you have to listen to your week to week levels to see and guide you to either expect that drop and that retracement, in which case you can decide if you want to get out or half out or 30% out or whatever it may be, or if you want to just sit back, weather the storm, and try to huddle, I guess, but I don't recommend that. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have a great day. Stay tuned tomorrow for Misha. He'll be making some altcoin videos. We'll see what that's on, and then I'll see you guys next Monday. Stay safe and good luck trading.